Greetings again, culture vultures and devotees of doom. Today's lesson is all about how I created Tales from the Crypt, and it's called How I Created Tales from the Crypt. Who else but your old maggot gagger could have come up with episode 1 called Dig That Cat, He's Real Gone? Who else could have scared the pants off of Joey Pants Pantoliano and gotten him to play the lead? Oh sure, Richard Donner directed, but I've forgotten more about directing than he'll ever know. Come to think of it, I've forgotten everything about directing. But deliriously, folks, Donner was great. He directed Superman, you know. Imagine Superman. But I digress. A little known fact is that when I first took Tales to the networks, I encountered rampant discrimination. Yes, it's true. They refused to buy a show from a dead guy. Can you imagine? They wanted live actors, live directors, even live producers. Outrageous! Why not do business with an oozing corpse? Most of their shows were rotten anyway. But I'll be eternally grateful to one of my future partners, Robert Zemeckis. He came to my defense. He said, don't turn him down just because he's a little different. After all, you know, you don't necessarily have to have a nose. Bob directed episode 3, by the way. It was called All Through the House, about a woman who murders her husband for the insurance money. I'm a sucker for a love story, aren't you? Did I mention I got 5 partners to do the series? Oh yes, 5. The more the merrier, I always say. The 5 live people were Richard Donner and Robert Zemeckis, of course, plus Walter Hill and David Giler. Then, last but by no means least, the man who gave the world 48 hours to get out, the utterly terrifying, even to me, Joel Silver! Ooh. I pitched them all my idea for Tales from the Crypt, or as I like to call it, Monsterpiece Theater, and they went for it, hook, line, and sinker. We made a deal with HBO, the 6 of us, and it was so exciting, I actually got scared for a moment. I thought my heart had started. Oh, that reminds me, episode 2, Walter Hill directed. It was called The Man Who Was Death, where this out-of-work executioner goes freelance and starts executing people for free. That's sort of what you might call an inhumanitarian. Which brings us to one of my favorites, episode 4, entitled Only Sin Deep, starring that sweet little innocent with the dynamite body, Leah Thompson. Leah played a lady of ill repute who sells her beauty so she can snag a handsome bachelor. But talk about snags! As her husband looks better and better, she starts looking yuckier and yuckier. But as with all series, there are some glitches and bugs. I didn't care much for the glitches, but the bugs were delicious. But really, take episode 5, please! Just kidding. Actually, episode 5 had everything. Ghosts, murder, people slicing and dicing each other. It would have done my heart good if my heart hadn't fallen out in 1953. Anyway, remember episode 6? It was called Collection Completed, and it was about this guy who retires and then finds all his wife's pets running around driving him nuts. So he takes up taxidermy. You guessed it, still lots of pets, but very little running around. And that, boils and ghouls, is how Tales from the Crypt became a classic, and I became the world's first undead superstar. And as you watch the first 6 episodes again, I'd just like to say if you find them too disgusting, too repulsive, and totally gross, then I've done my job!